Hello, everybody. Let me actually move this around a little bit. Hold on. Wait.
Let's see. It still
There we
says,
go.
yeah, okay, so it
There
still says scheduled at the top though on
Yeah.
my end. Yeah.
Okay. We should be live now. 12 seconds at least. And hello, everybody. I'm Varian Grant, and this is GeekGasm. I'm spent already. I'm tired.
This is GeekGasm, and I am not Lola, the indie princess.
And I am not Lola either. Yes. There is no shoe cam today, unfortunately.
No shoe cam.
No shoe cam.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, unless you are really freaky, you do not want to see my feet.
Wow.
But we do have a banner here somewhere for Lola's tip.
Oh, yeah, for the tip jar, yes.
For the tip jar.
We
and the
have
reason
a
why
tip
we're going,
jar.
Yep, and there it is. I am going to click that. And the reason why we're going to put that there, even though she's not here, is because this is Lola's show, and it costs money to run the server and have all this wonderful talent. I don't get paid. But send chocolate. You're more than welcome to send chocolate if you want to.
And remember, we are still collecting marriage proposals and high fives for Lola to go with her tips. So
yes. And her shoe cam, maybe if she's feeling better next week, maybe we'll see her feet up in the top corner. And we'll go without her. I'm okay with bunny slippers for that too, if she wants to relax.
Yeah,
bunny slippers with heels.
I think her slippers would have heels on her. Her flip flops have heels. So
yeah.
How is this possible?
Oh, Varian, what's going on? You said that there's a lot of news today.
There is news. First of all, everyone likes the crowdfund, okay? And it's a way that we've kind of become accustomed to doing business in indie comics lately, anyway. Well, AWS, which is an Amazon-owned platform, crashed today.
Oh, so it's like their server farm.
Yeah, basically, it's a server farm. It's a certificate. You have to be. You can get AWS certified. I tried. I was gonna get AWS. I was gonna do AWS certification, and I was like, only a true nerd would care. I spent like 3 days learning as much of AWS as I possibly could, and the only person that would be impressed by that is Meredith. Everyone else was like, but
I was actually a little surprised that you knew AWS. I was just like, oh, very good, Varian.
Yeah, but see, they crashed today. They crashed, and so a lot of stuff has been affected.
I could imagine a lot of people panicking.
Yeah, so Roku, a lot of big companies actually put their files there. So I believe, at least about a year ago, Netflix is housing a lot of content at AWS. So IndieVolt TV has a lot of files there. So IndieVolt TV currently is having some issues. Roku itself is having issues. There's a lot of problems. So
you said Netflix was having issues?
Netflix had.
That was a while ago, because I remember there was like a big outage.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like maybe like a year or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
At least last year they had files over at AWS. I'm not sure if they moved them since, but at least last year they had files there, and so they don't have them now, but they did at one point, and they would be affected too. But the big thing is the Kickstarter. Kickstarter's been affected by it, so a lot of people find themselves not being able to launch their campaigns today.
Wow.
Not being able to put down support or pledges, not being able to withdraw your funds, big problems, stuff that we really never consider. And I don't think that I've ever considered a crowdfunding platform crashing. Like, it just seems like it would never happen.
Well, it's something we actually try not to think about because it's so out of our control, honestly. I mean, the thing is, though, is that it helps at that moment to have flexibility in your plan when that happens. Yeah.
Well, that's the scary thing, is that you have a lot of these businesses who rely on things like AWS, and they're not the only ones. I think there are like three big ones that cover different areas of the globe.
Mhm.
And like there's no redundancy plan. There's no backup.
I mean, it doesn't. It sounds kind of suspect when one company controls the content of everybody, pretty much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's yeah. I mean, you're right. Danny J. Quick says Varian is feeling better. Dang. I mean, yeah. I am. I'm. This is only medication. What you're seeing is a facade. You're seeing medication. This will break down about. It's 9:09 now. This will break down about 2.
It's like
Yeah,
that Vicodin high is going to break.
Yeah, 2 in the morning.
no.
It'll, and I'll be back to. Gary Henderson says, good evening. Yeah,
Good
guys,
evening.
I never considered. I mean, I always wondered if people running off with your money. Now instead of running off with your money, they're going to be it's closed down. It's not closed down, but it's crashed. You can't get your money. It's not our fault. But imagine how many pledges you could say you missed out on because they were down.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, I would hope that people who were going to pledge and find that they couldn't, that they'll just wait until it comes back up again. I mean, that's what I would hope. That it's like, I mean, you're gonna have people like going, "Oh, I was gonna pledge, but then it was down." And it's like, I don't feel like pledging anymore.
Yeah, but that that affects the last 24 hours of a campaign. Oh man, that
definitely. Yeah, if you're in the last hours and this happens,
I hope that
I
they
would
do
be
something
tight,
right by the campaigns if that happens. I would be hot if that happened. I'd be like,
that's for sure.
I had 24 hours. I spent like the last 30 days pushing. The last 24 hours, it's like I'm sitting there for 24 hours hitting that F5 button, and you guys are fucking down.
Yeah, no, for real. Oh, yeah, those are the people who are
and
really
my face. I would rip off my face, and I would be after people.
Right. And then you have to punch Kickstarter in the throat.
We all know what that means, though. It's all Travis Gibbs' fault.
Well, yeah.
Because Cthulhu Invades Oz ended yesterday.
Oh.
And obviously Kickstarter said, screw that.
Yeah.
We're down.
Cthulhu attacks.
Yeah, I would I'd be pretty pissed off. However, there's another thing, and I know we talked about it, and Randy came in. Randy was on another show last night. He didn't get a chance to talk about it. He did talk about it, but
I was at another show, an hour show for 2.5 hours yesterday.
That's what happens when you have a good conversation.
But before I get into that, though, Lola's in the chat. She says, "Hi guys, I miss everyone. Hello,
and we miss you too,
girl. If you can be there, you can be here."
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, she's Gary Henderson. I'd like to come on and talk comics. Yeah, Gary, we'll get you some point. JD says they should give an extension.
They should. Yeah,
they should.
I hope that they do.
They should give them an extension. That'd be nice. And an extra day or two. Maybe throw them $5 too for the inconvenience. Or at the very least, waive some of the fee.
No, they're not going to do that.
They would never do that.
They'll probably give you the extra time, but they are never going to lower anything.
I think if enough people complained about it, they would definitely go in there and make it right. I don't think they would volunteer it. I don't know. I mean, if they're legit and they're if they've got some integrity, they probably would.
Nah.
No faith.
Absolutely not.
So
you have to wonder if the situation would be the same if only they had a publishing liaison.
Oh,
sorry.
So I did want to. We mentioned this the other day, but we'll mention it again. It bears it should be mentioned once again, and because I don't have Daphne or Meredith's hot takes on this yet.
Okay. Oh,
but
all right.
Meredith and I are part of a publishing group that came together this year, and publishing groups are springing out of all over the place. I mean, it's like pimples on your butt. Everyone gets one. Well, and they're popping up. It's spreading. Well, there's a new one now. But this one is different. This one's going to be the first fan-owned publishing company.
Oh, now the thing is that when you say publishing group, do you mean like a publishing company or people just consolidating to like, I don't know, like share printing costs or whatnot?
Well, I've heard the pitch and I still don't understand it.
Oh,
It is from Josh Blaylock of Devil's Due,
okay.
and it's called Pop Cultivator. And I'm gonna
sounds sus already.
and here it is, and I'm gonna play the quick video for you guys.
Okay.
Very quick video. Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm Josh Blaylock, and I have the privilege of bringing this brand new pop culture concept to WeFunder, Pop Cultivator, a brand new kind of comic book studio that brings together an amazing group of pop culture industry pros and teams them with you to create a brand new comic book empire. This is really the next evolution in comic book, whereby instead of the fans and the readers and backers just investing in product and getting rewards shipped to them, you actually own a piece of the intellectual property itself. That means not just the comics, but everything that spins out of them, from merchandise to collectibles to even film. I've been making comic books for over 20 years, and largely before bringing G.I. Joe back into circulation in the beginning of the 2000s and starting an 80s retro trend in comics. Most recently, I just set up one of my own comic books, Mercy Sparks, for a movie option with MGM Studios.
Retro trend.
And the people on my team are just a whole group of extremely impressive people. Mike Horn, our Chief Business Development Officer and the former founder of Palisades Toys. Mike has brokered partnerships with the NFL, Star Wars, Lucasfilm, even Jim Henson's Muppets. Jose Garibaldi, the colorist of the Captain Underpants and Dogman books of the past 8 years, a visual development artist on Netflix.
I love Captain Underpants.
Character designer for Nickelodeon's
Tra-la-la!
and the creator of 2 exciting new properties we have in store. Mark Powers, a former Marvel editor overseeing the entire X-Men family of comic books.
You can see it in his face. He was a Marvel editor.
Former editor of Devil's Due for the G.I. Joe comics. And just a whole group of extremely impressive people.
That person, this person, that person.
Some aspect
We got it.
of the comic book and pop culture space.
Hey,
And
I'm
what we're doing is
impressive too,
simple.
all right?
We are raising funds to put this team to work to create and acquire amazing new comic book content. And we know what we're doing, and we want to get it to market. It's a fun industry to be in. It's exciting. And most importantly, it is booming, even right now, despite the pandemic. In times of recession, comic books have always shown resiliency, and now is no different. Kids sales for comics are booming right now, seeing double-digit growth.
Don't look at the screen,
year.
Randy. You're going to have a
Industry
stroke.
as whole, despite significant double-digit growth over 2019.
What? Penguin Brothers?
He showed him with Scholastic books.
Oh,
between Hollywood and streaming wars.
But he's
and
using anything he can to try to get
development
money
of
out of people.
content,
That's all.
There just aren't enough comics out there to satisfy everyone's demand. And as shareholders, of course, you don't just own a piece of what the company owns.
I still don't
You're
know what
actually
he's
included
selling.
in part of the process.
No,
Selling
look to the
anything.
left.
That's
Look
the
to the left.
scam.
You get to be
Look to
actually
the left.
a part
I
of
guess, I mean,
seeing these
she-
things come together,
well-
being kept in the loop as we're setting up our publishing pipeline.
Now he just said that you'll be kept in the loop. You'll be a part of the decision making process, right? But I'm gonna read something to you later on that you'll see.
Okay.
This is not true.
One thing's for sure. It's like I didn't think that I could watch another video that gives me Comic Blast vibes. I mean, he said something in the beginning. It's like pop. Was it pop culture creators?
Mhm.
That was that the phrase that he
Yes.
used?
Yeah. That pissed somebody else off last night. I forget
Is
who.
that the same as being a comic book designer?
I really like the term retro trend.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the marketing BS phrases are kind of cringy. But so from what I understand from this, so instead of like, he's pretty much crowdfunding investors.
Well, yeah.
It's not like you're crowdfunding to get like books and stuff. No, you're crowdfunding to be a shareholder.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. It gets better, Daph. It gets better.
Does
Hold on.
it? It doesn't really?
Yeah, this is about to end. I'm gonna read you what you get.
Hang on.
For the projects that we develop, and you actually get to be a part of seeing how independent comic book concept gets nurtured from the very, very beginning all the way to hopefully the big time. Like if you were able to participate in helping the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they were just ideas in the creators' minds. Seeing as the event space opens back up, as we start to push these out into the comic book world, as we find creators to work with and other creators who bring ideas to us that we are able to help and bring to market, all the while keeping our investors involved. So it's something that's going to be really rewarding and fun. And most importantly, this is something we've all done before. So we know how to do something small scale and cool, and we know how to scale it all the way up to the big time. I mean, if that means if it needs to be on the shelves in Walmart, if it needs to be a major motion picture, if it needs to be a console video game, somebody in our crew has done.
If you were good at it, why are you begging for
our
money?
mission. We have some lofty goals.
I mean, wouldn't
but
this be
within a
something
few
you
short
would go
years,
to like
we'll
a
be
venture
celebrating this new
capitalist
concept of
group
Pop Cultivator.
Now,
to invest in?
now, listen. Check this out. That before you make another statement, I want to read something to you.
Okay.
Okay. So keep in mind, you have to invest. The minimum to invest is $100. Okay. That's the minimum.
All right.
For $100, you get absolutely nothing. Okay. Because in order to get the perks, there are perks. There are investor perks. Okay. Here they are. $250 plus gets you free digital copies of all comic books the company releases and a 5% discount off of retail on any physical item sales we offer directly.
How much of a percentage?
5%.
Run that. Yeah, I just wanted to reinforce that.
5% discount off 5%. Of retail.
5%.
Off retail of any physical item.
I mean, look, for I guess for transparency's sake, I'm a Disney investor, and I don't get anything except the dividends back from the stocks. So it's like, I still have to buy an annual pass. I still have to buy my tickets. I don't get any. What's funny is that it used to be like that, but not anymore. But 5%? I mean,
well, check this out. This is where you're gonna start questioning it.
Well, I have been already.
Oh yeah. So that's that. So $500 or more gets you the free digital copies of all the comics the company releases, 10% off the retail of any physical item. 1,000 plus gets you that, but you get 20% off. 5,000 plus gets you the digital comics, wholesale level discounts for all products released directly, equivalent to retailer discounts. All products made available to reserve. At the same time, they're open to wholesalers as well as limited edition direct to consumer merchandise. Access to purchase comic convention passes through exhibitor guest connections when the company attends a convention, which Eric Hodson pointed out last night may be illegal. And for 7,500 plus, so anything over 7,500, you get the free digital copies. You can purchase any comics, any products the company produces directly at cost or 70% retail discount, whichever is greater. That includes limited edition merchandise. All products made available to reserve at the same time they are open to wholesalers, as well as limited edition direct to consumer merchandise. Access to purchase comic convention passes through exhibitor guest connections when the company attends an event. And by the way, cost for them that equals the price of manufacturing, tariffs, shipping, etc. So you really don't get a seat at the table, which is what we were kind of complaining about.
Well, you see, the thing is, though, is that you're not an investor. You're just pre-purchasing all their stuff, pretty much. And then not only that, but you have to buy more. I mean, if I'm investing in a company, it's to get money back from it, So not to like I said, it's like when I invest in Disney stock, when I invest in WWE stock, Skechers, that the idea is that I'm going to get money back from that. Because the idea is that the stock grows and then I get the better the company does, the more money I get back.
Yeah, you get the dividends.
Right. He's using the word investor, but I don't think the way he's explaining it is the definition of an investor.
That's why I have the confused face. Because I'm like, I agree completely with what Daphne said. it's a pre-sale on books. You're not investing. You're not getting any residuals. You're not getting any
Right.
kind of dividends. And I mean, does he have an LLC? Is it incorporated? I mean, what kind of protections is there? Because
Right. And what does it mean if I own a percentage? I mean, of the IP. If I mean, okay, so I own a percentage of the IP, which gives me the right to get 5% off of buying,
yeah, because
things
if
with
I
that
have a percentage of the IP, I'd be like, I'm going to take that and go shop it off to somebody else.
I mean, it's like, right. And
Or a
that's the
bigger
thing, too.
percentage,
It's like, so
maybe.
when you have, so if I have a percentage of that IP, can I sell that percentage?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that I actually own, or is that something that they control on my behalf, kind of? It's
Well,
kind of like, oh, you are like, I own a percentage of the IP, but I can't do anything with it because they own the trademark and the copyright to it.
C. Michael Lanning says, huh?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Zan Shalestri says, scam comics.
Yeah, it's like, and by the way, what is this platform that they're on?
This is WeFunder.
This is the first time I've heard of it. Is it supposed to be like some kind of Kickstarter equivalent, or?
Apparently, they've been around for a while. A lot of people have made money through WeFunder. I'm seeing people make big money, like Menards, big money. Yeah.
No whammies, no whammies.
Yeah.
We've just aged ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
It's well, first of all, yeah, a lot of people were like asking that yesterday, what the heck is WeFunder? And Eric Hodson asked also, the problem with this, you're saying invest, but there's no protections available to me, and if you were off the Tijuana with my money.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
As an investor, I don't remember if it's backed by the SEC or is something. I'm trying to remember I don't remember like details like that off the top of my head. But
yeah, I mean, would we be getting stock certificates or something like that?
Right,
like, what kind of protection do we have that we can?
Right, it's like, do we have annual shareholder meetings where we actually get a say in how they're producing stuff? I mean, how much control do we actually have as shareholders?
Grant, hello, Grant. How's it going? I want to know too. Do I get a chance to go to the table and fire someone?
Right. Yeah. Which shareholders absolutely do all the time. It's like, how much control do we have?
I would venture that this entire thing is backed by the SOL. There's your guarantee. If it goes bad, you'll have the SOL to lean back on.
You see, this is the thing. I think that the reason why they're doing it on this platform is because Kickstarter wouldn't allow them to do it, which is ironic because Kickstarter is always saying you're not buying product, you're investing.
Not today.
But the thing is, I think this is the type of campaign they wouldn't allow on their platform because they're not really offering anything.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, I think someone said yesterday you have to actually be offering something. There's nothing being offered here.
Yeah, they're just offering. Oh, you're an investor.
They're hoping to get. They're hoping to get 50,000 to start.
Okay, good for them.
It opens December 2nd. Now, right now, the reason why I know about this is because they use their mailing list to send people out emails, and I didn't. This is sent to me, so I'm like, hey, let's investigate this, and it is. I mean, listen, another company out there making comics. I mean, I know it's Devil's Due, but that's work for artists. That's work for writers. I just don't know if it's something that.
Hold on now. That he does not say in there that you get a stake in Devil's Due.
No.
He says that they have talent, some of which have worked with Devil's
Right.
Due.
Yeah. You're just getting a stake in Pop Cultivator Comics. Yeah. It's like, what an attractive name. And the thing is though, and it's like, look, I'm still kind of like percolating my brain around was it pop culture creators? It's like, what is that?
Well, to be fair, Daphne, and just so you know, Jay didn't like the idea either. He didn't like the idea at all.
Oh, you talked about this last night?
Yeah. He was like, And Meredith, is this not a Is this not something that you're signing up for? You're not going to put down $100? I was thinking we could all put down 100.
No.
I can say hell to the no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is definitely a hard pass for me.
But
You know.
the problem, not really problem, but the
Well.
thing is out there is that there's enough gullible people out there that he'll
Well.
probably hit his mark as soon as it becomes available.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, it's I'll be surprised if it lasts the year. You know, if even.
Mhm.
Well, not this year, I guess like the full next year. I mean, because it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but this is not any investment I'm familiar with. So
It got our Griff King award last night. So.
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, it did. It got our Griff King award. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad to know that you guys don't like it though. I mean, it's kind of cool because I mean,
It's
that's
very suspicious.
yeah. Moving on from that, unless anybody else want to say anything. Did you want to say anything, Randy?
No, I think.
Oh, we can pick the video apart for days, but
Oh.
it's okay. We don't have to.
Uh-huh.
It's just if you see something like this out there, any of our viewing audience, and it raises the hair on the back of your neck, there's probably a reason for that happening.
Well, Varian, you have an email address or something that you can send information like that to, right?
Yeah. They can actually send it to. They can actually call or they can email the Indie Volta watchdog, and they reach out to people and say, "Hey, what's going on? We don't like this. Explain this." People are
Right, if they could clarify that.
Yeah.
And like we said yesterday, if somebody has that kind of money, please, in all honesty, consider throwing that my way.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I
Yes.
have properties, and I will give you more than a 5% discount
Yeah.
for an investment.
I have a Kickstarter coming up in January. I'll be more than happy to take your $100.
Yeah.
And give you actual physical copies.
It's
an interesting idea though, but that, like we keep saying, there's no substance here. You're not buying anything, and there are no guarantees other than the fact that if it doesn't make it, you don't get paid.
Right. And plus everything he mentions is hypothetical. It's not like you're investing in Devil's Due. It's not like you're investing in Captain Underpants.
No.
You know, it's all hypothetical. You technically don't even know what you're investing in and what IP you're going to
You're investing in that stuff coming out in the future, and obviously it's some goofy looking rounded toy thing.
Oh, that's because
that
probably,
he showed in the video.
Was it Among Us is hot right now, so they'll want to.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like if I was investing in an IP that I was kind of familiar with, or that I was a fan of, or something, and let's just say because of that partial ownership, let's say Netflix picked them up, then I would probably have in some kind of a contract a percentage of that. To stay involved, and that so that would be a smart investment. Exactly, a smart investment of my money, or the risk that comes with investing.
And he's looking for a goal of what, $100,000,
50
G's. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If he makes that, we're going to start another WeFundMe and do a 50G campaign for Arrow Comics.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
and I'll give them better percentages and more control over not more control, but more of a stake in the IPs that we create.
Varian's probably going to have Lola's Shoe Cam up there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yes.
We'll make sure he's factored that she actually got some heels in her PO box the other day. Someone sent her some heels, and they're not. The only thing is that they're not platforms. She likes platform heels. She likes that extra.
Well, he sent what he was into.
Yeah.
That's fine. They're not sending her shoes because the poor dear.
Yeah, they're sending her shoes and please wear these.
Yeah, exactly.
Please wear these on the camera. That'll be great.
Yeah. She was like, hey, I like these, but they're not platforms. But I'm like,
enough.
Right.
Yeah. Dave's Green says, hello, everyone. Yeah, hey, Dave.
Dave, hello.
They are very shiny, though, and they do have a tall heel. They just, yeah.
So it's like it's for the shoe cam, so it's all it's all good. Let the guy have his fun.
Yeah. It's,
Uh-huh.
she appreciates all the stuff she gets. $100 minimum for that. If you are interested, go find it over on WeFunder. Now, guys.
Yes.
I got an email. I got an email the other day,
Uh-oh.
and
We know you
said,
love your email.
Yeah. It said that there was a guy who said that he had reached out to comic creators and said, "Look, I own a DTG printer, direct to garment printer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
I am willing to print shirts off for you guys. Come to me, talk to me. Let's get a deal in place. I'm willing to, talk numbers, throw a number at me. Let's see if we can meet, and get some business done. I got this printer. I'm spending money on this printer. Help me pay for this printer. Help me help you." Well, he says he's catching hell because he says these indie creators do not want to spend money on advertising, on shirts, on anything. He says even advertising. He even does flyers. He says he can't get them to even sign up for his flyer company to do a flyer. He says, and it's like, hey, $20 circulation on that will be like, X amount, and they won't do it. And I wrote back, I said, it could be just the year. It's been a shitty year.
Right.
Where are you going to advertise, that at?
Did you express to him the promotional opportunities available on the Indie Vault network?
I did. Well, we got talking about that. There are. I mean, like Indie Vault has. We have advertising. Not everybody takes advantage of it. To the point where and I thought I tried to do my advertising to where it was affordable. I didn't want to be that guy who was like $500 for a month. That's not right. I couldn't. I didn't. 2001, I couldn't afford that. What? $500? No way. So I try to make things cheap enough for people. Much to sometimes people get mad at me. People like, yeah, well, you made it how cheap? What are you thinking? But especially my wife. But he said that artists and creators are cheap. I don't think we're cheap. I just think that we have to figure out where that dollar is going and if it's going to have a return value. Flyers are weird because I don't know if the flyers are going in the trash. I don't know if where are the flyers going to my market. I mean, I know companies that do flyers. There's a lady who used to come in the comic store all the time, and she found out that I own a comic publishing company, and she does those you guys probably have those value packs, the envelopes to come to your house full of just
coupons,
BS.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen one of those in a while, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, she came in the comic store and she's trying to get the guy who runs the comic store to invest or go in there. He says, and he had been in there before. He didn't want to go back in there again. Well, he had left the store, left me behind the register. She comes in. I'm like, oh, he's not here, and I'm here today. Blah blah blah. Well, he says that you own a comic book publishing company. I do. Do you have any coupons? Here, let me sign. She's trying to sign. I'm like, man, my business doesn't work that way. I don't. Why would I send out local coupons? That makes no sense. That's
right.
Of course, she can smell money. All she wants to do is try to get me to sign up.
Right. Yeah, she wants her percentage. How it functions for you is kind of irrelevant, which kind of makes her a crappy salesperson. If that's the case.
Yeah. So, I mean, Meredith, you've had luck with advertisers. Is it that advertisers look do they look for you or do you look for them? How's that work, first of all?
I think it's a little bit both ways, especially with Geek Insider, because we are very broad. It's we do music, we do tech, we do movies, and plus it's the age of the website. It's over 10 years old. So a lot of stuff that goes up on the website, as long as we're using proper keywords, that'll show up. So that's why, you know, like your site is a few years old. Rob's site is a few years old. Eventually, you know, those start showing up higher on the search engines when you do searches for those keywords, and so you become an authority the older the site is. It's well aged. So that helps. So we do have a lot of people who approach us about advertising, and a lot of them, believe it or not, are based on old articles because they're aged and they want their products or their services to have that aged look. So they'll be like, hey, how much is it going to be for a backlink? And so when I tell people, hey, you know, we've got a couple of sites that we can have a backlink to you, and people don't take advantage of that, that's on them. You know, there isn't much I can do about that. You know, I try to promote them as much as possible, and we don't charge the indie creators, but we'll charge a casino. You know what I mean? But here's the thing about the flyers, and while you were saying that, I was like, you know, there is a benefit to flyers. And one of the things that I'm going to show you is the package reveal that I did the other day from Silverline. Had that in it. All right, this little flyer for Indie Planet. All right, kablam. That was showing. So as soon as I opened up my package, there it was. Boom.
Yeah.
First thing that I saw before I even saw the comic. So, I mean, I think if there are enough people who are networking with each other, and let's just say you're getting ready to deliver, and I got something that's coming up, why wouldn't I buy flyers and say, hey, can you throw that in your bag?
That's
why wouldn't I do that?
That's a good point. Oh, let me see here. You guys have all seen this before. In Liberty boxes. We have custom backs and boards.
Yep.
These boards, you can buy this space. You don't have to. It's for sale. You can buy the space if you want it. You know, we sell it in. We can break it up in 4 squares. We can sell you the whole back, and you know, 10,000 of these. I think I was asking. I think it's 300. That's 10,000 impressions that you're gonna get. And those when books are bagged and boarded, that's it. So if that book is ordered 2 years from now, and that's your ad, you know, if somebody asks that for that 2 years from now, they're gonna still see your ad on it. It's almost a timeless ad that's gonna be paying for itself, you know, for years and years to come. Or hopefully, you know, when someone pulls out of their long box, they're gonna say, "Oh, I remember this. Oh, I like this ad. I gotta track this book down." And they might not get it from Liberty. They might come to your website. They may come directly to you at a show. It's there. So we have to learn, I think, as a industry, how to spot good investment opportunities for our ads and how to advertise. There are people who will charge you, you know, I mean, I've seen someone say, hey, I'll put you, I have a lot of followers and I'll make your comic my avatar for your comic cover, my avatar for 2 weeks for $1,000. I've seen that on Instagram.
No.
And it's like, no, I think people ask for Insta. Oh, I'll put your comic on my Instagram, you know, for, you know, $100. No, absolutely not.
That's not. It's like, look, I mean, going back to the question though, I mean, I think that both of his things are true. That yes, we are cheap, and but the thing is though, it's like at the same time, it's
Say
like
what?
this.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, it's like we have to. We're very conscious, especially nowadays, where we have to account for every dollar that goes out. I mean, if conventions, I don't know what this guy is charging for stuff, so his pricing could be also a reason why a lot of people are balking at doing work with him. I mean, especially since, you know, ordering from Redbubble is super easy. You know, it's like, you know, that's what he's competing with. So, you know, So yeah, it depends on his price, what he's pricing, even with the flyers and the t-shirts and all that. But without conventions, that's the only time where I would really take advantage of flyers, because then it's like you can hand them out all day, all weekend and whatnot. So you need, you always need flyers. But I always have something, going into all my orders saying it's like, oh, these are the other books that we have, and all that stuff. So it's not like there's not a need for it. It's just that, also the timing is kind of bad too. Like right now, I'm more concerned about how can I optimize my advertising digitally. I've experimented with Facebook ads. I've gotten, I haven't done it enough to really kind of get a combo of things that I like. And right now it's like with Facebook ads for me, I end up spending more than what it gives back. So at this moment, I don't feel that it's worth it. So it's maneuvering. How do we advertise online and get through that signal to noise? How do we stand out online?
Standing out online is really, really difficult. And for the most part, creators just want to create, and they are shit for marketers.
Oh, well, yeah, that's for sure. That's true. That's true.
They're like, nah, I don't want to do the podcast. So no, I don't want to do the interviews or whatever the case might be.
No, really not. Because I was exactly like that too. I was just like, oh, I don't want to do that. And this and the other thing. I just want to, work on stuff. But then it's like, once JD gave me the big push and he goes, here, go talk to this guy, Randy, go talk to Marion, and then I really began to see, it's like, oh, wait, yeah, this help.
Yeah. But, going back to the print thing again, it's just one of those things where, I wouldn't have brought it up except that Varian, you were talking about flyers and, where is your money going to go? And I think the greatest impact is if you are already networking with people and it's an opportunity to maybe put one of your smaller flyers into somebody else's book for delivery. That might be worth it because now you're reaching their audience.
Yeah, right. And Cameron was saying you could do that yourself. Yeah, you can advertise yourself.
That's the thing too.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, again, with the back of the custom bags and more to do with Liberty Distribution, I've got 47 stores that's going to 47 stores that you don't have, all over the country that you can't get to, but that flyer can. That your comic on the back of that board is going to go to some small town somewhere. Someone's going to see that and say, hey, I will buy that comic. And they might even ask the store owner, do you have this comic? Or do they sell it at Liberty? Can you get that book in here? So it's you got to also think about like how far is this going to get me? The other thing is and just to show you guys, and I don't want to keep selling our stuff here, but on Indie Vault. I think I'm going to actually make that banner up there. I'm going to make that someone's banner. I'm not sure who's yet. Maybe I'll try my own first.
Well, and then it's like, see if it's something that, that looks good and, works with the site and whatnot.
Right. But we sell the sides of our banners. We sell those. You can buy, you can buy the side of the website. This right here is very affordable. It's $50 for a whole $50. I let it run. Well, introductory. I was letting it run about 6 weeks. I ended up letting it run a lot longer than 6 weeks. But so now we're tightening up because people now they want that space. So right now, God's Hand is running. They're about to. They time theirs to end. At the end of their campaign. So they'll be coming out very shortly here. IndieCron, which is a cool site if you're looking to find out which comics are selling, doing really well on crowdfunding. Friend of ours, Pixel Trader, he's been on the show a couple of times. They've got that space over to the left. Another ad I'll be taking over here, but $50. I let it run for a couple of weeks up there, and you can click on that. and it'll take you right to that site.
Mhm.
You know, right from the Indie Vault site. And it costs you. You guys can see it took me to the site, but it doesn't cost you.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's very affordable, and it's there, and you can check out the traffic and see what we get. I'm always willing to provide you, that hey, here's how the traffic does on the site. We have a lot more traffic when we're doing the show. People want to, what is indievote.com? They go over there, check it out. So yeah, I think that we just have to figure out how to get the value out of that money, because you can't keep throwing bad money after bad money. You try it, see if it works. I'll tell you what, guys, what doesn't work, and I think everybody here knows, sometimes those Facebook ads don't work.
Yeah, well, yeah, really. I've yet to have a satisfactory experience with them.
Yeah.
Only if you want it to screw with your page's algos.
Yeah.
Well, right. Yeah, it's
I say the same for Google ads. Honestly, I've because of GoDaddy, I had a lot of Google ad credits, and I'm like, I had so many, I was able to add them all up, and they did absolutely nothing.
I mean, what's funny is that, like, right now, what I find is working for me is the more personable aspect of networking, and like I said, like being on shows like this, and and just constantly keeping my face out there, I guess. It's like, because I think like one of the things that I ended up learning really quickly, especially after starting to do all these podcasts, is that you really do need to associate yourself with your product. That it's like, I know it's like a lot of people are like, oh, it's like, oh, the book will sell itself, the book should sell itself. And it's like, well, that's kind of not, as much as we want it to just be able to push our artwork out and people will automatically be attracted to it. That's kind of not how it works.
Yeah, you could have the best product, and if nobody knows who you are or where to find you, you're not going to sell a damn thing.
Right. And also there's something about, yeah, exactly. And it's like, there's something also about associating your work with your personality. Also, it's the whole, like, I remember kind of like getting irritated with this piece of advice, but kind of like the longer I'm doing this, the more it makes sense that it's like, people aren't buying your art, they're buying you.
Yes.
So the more they like you, the more they're going to support your art. And not to be catty, but I've seen I've seen some artists with rather, I mean, they're good, but not like professional, let's just say. But because they have such a
you can say it, Daphne. We're not naming names.
that because they have such a huge following on YouTube, that people automatically support their work, because it's like they've been watching these people on YouTube for 10 years. So it's kind of like you have that parasocial relationship. So even though their artwork is not what I would consider professional, people buy it up. I mean, it's like, and the thing is, not for nothing though, they're conscious of that too. They know when they go to conventions and they have a line going to the door and people are like, oh, who the F is this person? They understand what's happening. I know that for January, I found out that there's like 2 other creators that are going to be also doing Kickstarters at the same time as me. So I'm just trying to figure out like how we could, as 3 simultaneous Kickstarters, use that to our advantage to like promote each other.
Well, what you do is you launch yours in January. And in December, you get it's not January. You launch yours a month earlier. You let them think you're gonna launch yours in January, and you cheat them.
Aha.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather. I'm still tweaking all the files and stuff. So I'd rather launch in January.
I'm
pretty much set in January.
Do they draw digitally? These other artists.
The other artists?
Yeah.
The
other creators.
Yeah.
All right. Simple. Send them a courtesy pack of digital brushes it'll really be a virus.
Oh,
It'll
brother.
go into their system, clear their system
I'm
out.
sitting here waiting for a real answer.
Clear their system out. This is a real answer. This is as real as it,
There you
as it
go.
gets.
That's a sabotage.
Sure.
This is as real as it gets. And
Now,
yeah.
we're all
It's a
supposed
dog
to be
eat dog
friends here,
world.
so that our Kickstarters, we help each other's Kickstarters, and we grow naturally, and
Help.
Oh,
Help.
Marion, you're going straight to hell, man.
Oh, I am. Listen, I decided the other day. While watching the news, I'm a toxic individual, and there's not much that's going to change that. I am. I've tried to better myself. I've tried to be a better person. I
know it's easy to be.
I admitted last night that I sleep well when I sleep well when it's thundering or thunder and lightning, raining really heavy, and the wind is blowing really
That's true.
hard.
That's my favorite too, but not for the same reason for you.
Yeah. For me, it's because I know I'm like, ooh, I'm so warm in my bed and snuggly and soft, and there's somebody out there in a cardboard box right now who's not.
You.
It's like it's like, oh, this is great. And I feel like an ass. I know it's horrible. It's very toxic. I don't know why I'm like that. I probably should have been spanked at some point when I was a kid for saying something.
But I mean, it's like, I guess it's a good thing that you recognize that part of yourself, which means that there's a possibility you can, try to evolve your personality to something a little bit less demented.
You know what? It's my father's fault, because my mother told me I used to watch the news, and if someone got hurt, I'd cry.
Oh.
And she said my father, he needs to be toughened up. And I remember seeing this man downtown Detroit. He was laying on the sewer grate, and the steam was coming up. And I remember looking and saying to my dad, "Daddy, can you give him some money? His sign says he's hungry." It was late at night. And I never forget, because the guy, he had one leg and he had this like fake one like propped up next to him. Okay. And my father says, "No, I'm not giving him any money. Why would I give him? He's gonna drink it up or go buy drugs or something. He may have a gambling problem." And in my mind, I just shifted. These are the bad guys. They're alcoholics. So I think my dad did it to me. See, it's not me. I'm innocent. I'm the victim here. Sarah says hello there, and to Meredith Buttbeard.
Cat fisting.
And JD says Varian is horrible. I am.
Yes,
I'm horrible. I'm horrible. I do need counseling. Yeah, I need some type of counseling. And so we covered the advertising and what you could do to advertise. But real quick, Randy,
sure.
Advertising in Aero Comics, you guys made it affordable, right?
We never took on any advertising.
You didn't know that? Well,
for Flint Comics, yeah, we made it affordable.
Yeah, it was affordable in Flint Comics. But you ran across people not wanting to pay you.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of that mentality, though. We had people that wanted to step out on their bill, and other people that didn't want to pay us, and it wasn't really bad up until the very end, and then we started having one client after the next going, "What do you mean? I thought I paid you for the whole contract."
Oh boy.
It's like, no, you paid us for one appearance and you signed a contract for a whole year. Yeah.
Yeah. I took out an ad in one of our papers, the Metro Times. And it was down here, and it was for my old company. And boy, oh boy, did that ad cost me.
Yeah.
And they ran it, but boy, like I said, that was an expensive ad. And looking back on it, and they don't like. I remember too. It really upset me because one of the guys, we ran the ad, and I forget something happened that week, but we ran the ad, and it was their college edition. So they made a big fuss about it's our college edition. It's gonna be this one is the one that everybody wants.
This is the one.
And something happened that week where apparently there was a shortage of the papers or something. But one of the guys that worked for me, he went out, he came back in, and he had 2 armfuls because they're free papers. And he's like, hey, I found some Metro Times here. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I bought you some because, you know, your ad's in them. And I'm like, you, like, I'm not in there. I paid for that ad. I want those papers out of here.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know? And say, I don't care about that ad. That ad can go away. And it was rough. But
I think for the most expensive ad that we didn't pay for a split second, we were getting published by another company.
Mm-hmm.
And they bought a full page ad in previews.
Mm.
And from what I remember, I think it might have been like 10 grand or something. I don't remember. It was very expensive.
Ooh.
Wow.
And it didn't affect our sales one iota.
Those are pop cultivator numbers right there, 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he was a dude with a little bit more dollars than cents, but right? At least that was a lesson that we got somebody else, so that we learned from somebody else, as opposed to trying it ourselves.
Was it color? That?
No, it wasn't.
10 grand. It wasn't even color. Man,
yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember it being in color. Yeah.
Where was the ad?
In previews.
For 10 grand.
Yeah, wow. You know, I might be misremembering the. All I remember is
JD said 1,500. So
oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, there we go.
I was gonna say that would have to be a heck of an ad.
Oh no! I'm confusing the 10 grand with a booth that someone paid for a convention. Okay, there we go. There we go. As you can see, this is why I'm a cartoonist and not a math major.
Sarah says, Randy, thank you for all the newbie advice you gave me on Brian K. Morris' show last night.
My pleasure, Sarah. You're very welcome.
She says, yes, Meredith, catfisting. Hashtag catfisting. Meredith, that's not, I don't even want to go there, what catfisting is. But Grandpa's Comic Con says, Flint Comics is very affordable. Yeah. I mean, it was
our ads, yeah.
It was and the magazine
$50 for a eighth of a page in black and white, 75 in color.
And the magazine, the paper itself was affordable, was free. Yeah, it was free. So it was you could afford to take more than one. People were taking Rain, did you ever see anybody that cleaned your box out before? Like, it sounds so nasty when I said it. Did you ever see anybody who just like
not that I enjoyed? No. Anyway, but no, we did. We had people that would call me and say, "You dropped 100 copies off. I'm taking 50 because I've got a drop point that I service for you." And we were like, "Cool, dude. Thanks for letting us know. Well, from now on, we'll throw an extra 50 into that box, so you're not affecting that box's numbers, and you can take them to because they were spreading them out." A lot more than what we were reaching, and I knew that was happening. The guys that take them to their Elks Lodge or the VFW Hall or the I had one guy that would go and hit a couple of senior centers and drop the papers off at. There's all places that we knew they were being read, so I was real happy to oversupply those places, to make sure it got out.
And Randy had to deal with all those sad people when he decided to end it. People, is this the last one? Are you sure?
Well, that was a really good paper. I mean, he sent me some samples, and I was just like fascinated with them. It's like, holy crap! I would be all over this.
Yeah,
issue 99. We boasted it was our special next to last issue, and that kind of softened the blow a little bit. Issue 100, we celebrated with a commemorative. It's been 10 years, and we're done. We did special last issue. No kidding.
Yeah, no, that's I would have been sad too to see that ad.
That was
to see that end.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Randy, do you miss that?
That was a year ago last April, so it's been about a year and a half, and I do miss it. A lot, and there's a lot of associations that I did, and like I was telling Brian on the show yesterday that it really reinstilled my understanding and love for comics, because it was a free paper. We had advertisers supported. We moved 10,000 copies of this in my little county. All around the Flint area, our distribution was, if you know Michigan at all, we ran from Davison to Owasso and from Birch Run to Holly. It's not a big area, but there is a lot of people there. And we moved through 10,000 copies of the paper every month. And there were times I was getting back a dozen, and I never let the distributor and I were really tight. We were real good friends once he got to know me. And I used to go around and distribute everything myself the first year or so. And I got a call from him going, I know you're using our spaces. And one day I'm going to call you up and tell you you're going to have to start paying me for rent for those spaces, or you're going to have us distribute it. And once he called me, I said, yeah, okay, we'll have you distribute most of it. But there's still clients that I would do, because I would run out. I would run the files down to the printer. The next day I would run up to the distributor warehouse and pick up 60 bundles and take them around myself and drop them off in certain boxes. I serviced Montrose, which was my hometown, and it was off the expressway. It was like 10, 12 miles off of 75. So I would drive over there and drop it off myself, because that was a personal thing for me. But like I said, the big thing with the paper is that it reinstilled my love for comics. And I understood that people are out there. It's not that people don't like reading. It's not that they don't like reading comics. They will definitely read comics, and they'll follow you almost to the point of fanaticism if it's always there. It took us about couple of years to really catch on. And there was a period there for quite a while, up until the bad water situation in Flint, that we were really raging well. And we weren't, it had turned into a one-man show, and I hadn't chased after the advertising like I should have. And if I had stayed before the water crisis hit on it, we could have built a better cushion to handle the water crisis. When the water crisis happened here in Flint, all of the mom and pop stores literally dried up. It was worse, I think, than the shutdown that we are experiencing now, because at least these restaurants are having takeout. But there were times in the entire county that people had to put papers up in their window going, "We are outside of the Flint water area. Our water is safe." That's crazy. Because everybody thought that if you were in Flint or Flint Township, you had poisoned water. Wow. And that's not the way it worked. There was only a certain radius, mostly inside of Flint, that had the bad pipes. And that was even a series of accidents that the state covered up. And it just kept, because they covered it up, it kept exponentially growing. And then the lead levels in the kids were really got to a breaking point where people started screaming. And something had to be done. But when the mom and pop businesses dried up, our advertising dried up, and it got to be really rough to keep the paper afloat. And there were some months that I was tapping into my savings.
Wow.
And also at the same time, I had, ever since the first issue had come out, I took out an ad for my commercial work, for logos, apparel, design work, that kind of thing. And that was booming. That was rough. It was rough having to schedule the time to do the paper between commercial jobs and distribute it. Do my part of the distribution, which I wasn't going to give up anyway, because I'm that much of a, control freak, I guess. I don't know. But it just got to be too much, and it was raiding my funds. So I drew the line at 100. So we got to stop.
I definitely liked when Randy would have commercial jobs, because I had a strip in the paper called A Little Tipsy. Which is
so he can run a couple days late, because I was way behind on getting stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Randy like, "Hey, your deadline." I'm like, "Yeah." And then sometimes he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, well, I got this big commercial job." I'm like, "Yes," because I knew
three more days, maybe a week.
Yeah. Commercial job meant he couldn't get around to the paper.
I literally had folks calling me. I got to the point where I had to tell everybody, "Hey, I got a Facebook page. Jump up to the Facebook page for notifications. Just go over there." And stupid, silly me, I took out an ad under that page for a fall convention that I was doing that I was worried I wasn't going to get enough attendance on. And once I took out that one ad on Facebook, they completely screwed my algorithms. And you could see how many hits that you were getting with your posts. And I had gotten, they also made me take out a business account or a business page because I was really careful. I was going through trying to weed out all the dead accounts and at one time I had bopped this down, 200 or so, but, and I knew that once we hit 5,000, they were going to tell me I'm a business and I have to get a business page. But, I didn't even get that high. I got up to 4,800 and they hit me and they said, you're a business, you need a business page. And I'm like, blast it. And once I did that, I literally and took out that ads. I saw my hits go from 3,000 to 300.
I learned that lesson too. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, damn it. And that took everything out, Then folks had to intentionally follow us. So I'm like, don't just go to the page and like it. You have to follow us in order to get those notifications. Because I was putting up the papers in production, the papers going to press, the papers at the printer, the papers at the distributor, the papers on the stand. That's the steps that I take. And as soon as I did the cover for that issue, I would put it up so that people would know what to look for. And I tried my best to keep every cover completely different from the previous one, so that all you had to do is drive by, because we had a set of red magazine boxes all around town that was set up. You could just walk up once a month, take a paper. Which was really cool. I still have a half a dozen boxes in my garage, and there's still a couple of boxes floating out there in the area that have been empty ever since I stopped. So I gave all the red boxes to our distributor, and he's never bothered to go around and pick them all up.
Weird thing about those boxes, though. When Randy told me it was in the paper, you think I would have asked for something weird? Nope. Know what I asked for?
One of the boxes.
Red box.
You know what? I probably would have done the same thing.
Because I had taken it to shows. I had a red box, a side that was really nice and shiny, that I would take to shows, and it was an attention getter. Kids would walk by and go, "This is cool. Look, I got a funny paper."
That's it.
That's awesome.
In my hallway, right off my bedroom, is a red box, and I still have, and I have 100 in the front frame. So it's sitting there. It's I'm never gonna let it go until maybe one day I'll take it to a con. I'll get Randy to sign it though. I'll start when I start a Zimmerman Museum. It'll be
okay. Let me check my shoes first. See if I stepped into any of that.
I'll start a Zimmerman Museum. Oh, trust me, it'll be Varian Grant's Randy Zimmerman Museum. It'll be the stuff that's not. It'll be. You know how what's his name?
That'll be the kind of museum that'll have a copy of Rawhide Kid on display.
Yeah. You know how
that was written by Ron Zimmerman, by the way. It wasn't me.
What's the name of the guy who does Kirby's Museum?
Jeremy
forgot his
Kirby?
name. No. There's a lawyer. They used to do.
I couldn't tell you.
He used to hang around Jack and help Jack, and he's since taken over, like almost. He's not executive as a state or anything, but he's like such a big Jack Kirby advocate that he's like. And that's what I'm gonna do for Randy. I'm gonna sit there and say I'll start making up ridiculous stories. Yes, I once seen Randy draw dark. It was during the blackout. Randy knocked that whole comic in the dark. It was great. Meredith, Candlelight. Sarah says, Meredith, what is the biggest thing you learned from being the noob to being published with Luke Stone? Wait a minute, Sarah. Published with Luke Stone.
What a huge step up.
Yeah. Published with Luke. Are you referring to Terraform? It ain't just Luke Stone. Never mind. Okay, yeah. You know
what? It was. I'm still on this journey. I'm going to be on this journey for a long time. And my goal, or the best piece of advice, is never be the smartest person in the room. Seriously, I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room.
As long as Rob's around, we'll never be that.
It's in Rob's mind.
Yeah. We'll never be that, right?
You know, because that's the thing. There's always something to learn. I am constantly on a learning curve. Sometimes it's uncomfortable and sometimes it's exciting. So far, you know, getting into comic books, from taking a story that was in prose and scripting it out, I went through like basically 5 edits before I was like, okay, it's time to pull the trigger and find an artist whose style fits the vision that I have in my head for the words that I put down on paper. You know, so that was for my story. With Luke, it was, you know, he did a call to action. He asked for people to submit a story and if there was artwork and stuff like that. And I had just finished reading his first story arc. And there was this one scene in the book that just stayed with me, and it stayed with me for days. And when that call to action came, it was just a calling almost. And so I immediately wrote down a story and I said, my scripting is shit. It was basically my first script. And I had no idea, because I've talked to a lot of people and I said, well, what does the script look like? And it's like, everybody does it different.
Yeah.
As long as you can communicate to the artist, everybody's script looks different. I was like, well, that's not helpful. So I sent him my story ideas. I sent him, you know, what I saw in my head, and I put it down as best as possible. And he loved it. Little did I know that it kind of carried over into what the 2 characters that I wrote about, and you guys have to see it, but kind of the relationship that they were building. And he's like, I don't know how you could have possibly known that. I was like, it was just something that I felt so powerfully when I read the story that I wanted to write for it. And I'm finding also in this community that there are people who, you know, like, for example, I'm going to, you know, kind of toss it to Daphne. You know, I think you saw an interview with Ben Lacey with Shark of War.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I don't have an artist, and he's such a sweet guy. And the next day you had a picture of a shark, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And he plastered that everywhere. And so there's that community of like, don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole. You know, communicate with each other, you know, and if you find that you are like really kind of attracted to it, or you find passion in somebody else's project, and you want to do that bit of fan art or help or a step up or advice and things like that, again, don't be the smartest person in the room. Open up your ears, shut your mouth, and get the work done. Randy, what is it that you say always? Get an education.
Get an education. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, you shut your mouth and get an education. Yeah. And Grandpa Thomas says, he says, Randy, we may still do the Grandpa's version of your paper. We'll keep you informed. We'll love an editor probably a year down the road for us. Okay. And Rebel Gaming says, where's the Chuck Cam? Yeah, there's we have to do Chuck Cam. Chuck Cam is like, you have to sit it down here, and it has to be shot up from this way. The Chuck Cam, because Chuck wants you to. I think Chuck films so we can feel as if we're looking up at greatness.
Were you picking on Chuck's camera direction?
I am. We're gonna figure.
Yeah, it is.
Chuck is way back doing it. He's
wait a minute.
It's kind of funny how you know, it's like, you know what, we've been, you know, pretty much we've been collectively online since March, and they're just people who just the camera just, you know, just tilt it a little bit. You know?
This is my new camera right here.
Oh boy! Oh my goodness! Oh no! Wow.
Chuck, we all lay back now. We're not doing it. We're just.
Oh, that hurts my back.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I was wondering.
I can't do it.
It's not like you have a lazy boy or you know or Varian's like special chair or something.
Yeah,
Now my face is all red from the lack of oxygen.
Yeah, my chair just goes back now. It's like, no, we're out of here. Just
Wow,
Careful.
wow, dang. Where are you?
I would be careful, Varian. I've seen a lot of fail Army videos lately that don't end good.
Really,
Doing that.
really.
I am loving that chair, though.
Yeah, you know what's cool is it actually has a heater and a massager in it.
Wow, yeah, very
Yeah.
nice, very nice.
Yeah. I'm
What would really be cool is if you wanted to trade a set of tamales for another version of that chair.
Yeah, there we go.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's weird because it's I'm not used to it. So when I rock now, I'm like, whoa, what's that? But it has a little resistance, so it's not like I'm not
like the hydraulics actually work.
I mean, if we see Varian's feet, there's an issue.
Yeah. Lola says she wants one, and this is the one she wants. I'll show it to you guys. Now I got to be careful because, unfortunately, it's shipping. The one she wants.
Shipping?
Yeah, the one she wants will have to come from here it is. I'll show you guys. Well, they had it at Wayfair, and I was worried because I'm like, well, if I order from Wayfair,
you'll get a child with it.
Yeah. Am I gonna get a child, or am I gonna get the actual? Am I gonna get a chair? So
unpack the box, Daddy.
Oh no!
All of a sudden, you got a Junji Ito story in your house.
Yeah. This is the one that.
Dang.
Oh wow!
And it's it's RGB. She likes it because it lights up. That's what she.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah. Does it have like USB ports in it or something?
No. Well, it might. It lights up, so I'm thinking it's gonna need to be charged.
That would be the kind of chair I could see Larry Higgins in, especially if the lights revolved around.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So
I can see him in
Lola's
that.
getting for Christmas.
I honestly, Larry, I know you're listening. I don't really mean that as a dig. I could just really see you in that chair.
Yeah.
Well, that's a funkadelic kind of background going on anyway.
Yeah, he does.
That's what Lola wanted, and that's what she's getting for Christmas. She's getting that
chair. There you go. So we're looking forward to see
when she returns. She's gonna be
all like in this glory.
Yeah, maybe she'll have her pink wig on and the shoe cam going.
Yeah.
So, if you guys want to help get her chair, make sure you tip streamlabs.com/indievolt/tips.
And don't forget the pink feather boa.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Pink feather boa. This is gonna be horrible. Guys, we're out of time. So where can you guys be? Where can you guys be found at? We'll start with Randy.
Oh, you can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Twitter under Randy Zim. You can find me on YouTube under the Zim Geek channel. And you can find me here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for the Breakfast Buzz. And also on Sunday morning at 9, or did I say 9 p.m.? I'm at 9 a.m. for the Breakfast Buzz. Also 9 a.m. on Sunday for the Sunday Funnies, where we cover the lighter and more whimsical side of comics. And this Sunday we will be concentrating on the Golden Age and celebrating a long conversation overdue with a hopefully glitch-free Glenn Fleming as we talk about his latest issue of Comics Unlimited that'll focus on the Golden Age and all those fun aspects that cover that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
he's a good guy. I guess I'll go next. Meredith Lochran, you guys can find me at MEREJ99 if you do a Google search for that, or you can look up my name, Meredith Lochran. That is basically Twitter. It is Snapchat. Again, if you do a Google search, you can also find me on geekinsider.com. I've got quite a few articles over there. And IndeeVent, INDEEVENT, you can find some of my contact information there.
And if funny animal fantasy is your thing, go to Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and sign up to get the first 3 issues of Tall Tales for free as
Look what I
downloadable
got.
PDFs. Oh yeah. don't show the book on don't show the book on screen though. We're gonna end up getting banned.
Yeah.
It's got the sticker.
Yeah.
Got the sticker right there.
Yes, and this is also one of the books that I'm finishing sending out for my last Kickstarter, so I can start my next Kickstarter January 4th, where I premiere my new book, Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, in all its full color first issue glory. So again, you can find me on Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And also you can check out my YouTube channel where you can find art tutorials, demos, and the occasional live stream when I get myself put together to have one at Daphne Lage, Lage Art.
Varian.
And of course, I'm Varian Grant. And you can find me at KYD_V on the Twitter. I probably won't answer you, but I have been on Twitter a little bit more. So there's a good chance I may see your message if you tweet me. Varian Grant on Facebook, Last Call Comics, Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, and of course, IndieVote.com. Right now, I'll be spending tomorrow. I'll be with Randy tomorrow morning for.
I'll be there too.
Breakfast Buzz. I'll also be. I'm also learning Superscript. Is that what it's called?
Oh, look at you
Superscript.
keeping busy.
Well, yeah.
First, you're learning Amazon stuff, and now you're learning.
Well. Superscript isn't. So Superscript is pretty easy. It's not coding. It's just actually learning how to type in the dedicated comic book script editor.
Oh.
it's just scripting. It's all. It's just writing a comic. It's a program. Someone decided they were going to make a program for comic book script writing.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
interesting.
Do you like it? Have you tried it?
I've tried. I did one page and I said, okay, I'll get back to this. That was last night.
Okay.
It was like 2:00 in the morning. My medicine was kicking in. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I'm going to bed. The cool thing about it was I said, it comes with a bit of it comes with some prestige, a little notoriety, because I was looking at who's all involved in it. And let me go to the bottom of the page here. So the backers from Kickstarter, Superscript was successfully funded on Kickstarter on May 31st, 2018.
Oh.
Thanks to 185 backers. We'd like to give special thanks to these fine people who put in a little extra. And look, there's Mr. Anderson. So Josh Dahl,
a veritable who's who.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know if Sharon Comics, and I'm sorry if other people have the names up here that I don't remember the names. If they've been on the show, they probably have. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that I seen all these people, and some of them I know. So that was cool. But yeah, it's comic book script writing. It's pretty cool. And right now, reason why I got it because they gave you 3 months for free.
Oh, okay.
And they're doing like $40 a year or something like that. I forgot what it is.
Not bad. I mean, if it's it's like if it's helpful. I mean, $40 I think for a year is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Sarah, have a great Thanksgiving. Everyone else have a Thanksgiving. Yeah, you guys. Cameron also says being rigid doesn't mean get your point across. That being rigid is not a language an artist. A good artist usually speaks. I'm quite
rigid.
I'm quite rigid. No, I'm very nice. I'm very nice in person. I'm not as much of an asshole in person as I am online.
As much,
not as much.
Larry says, as far as the chair goes, I love my DX Racer.
Yeah, you know what? I told when I got this chair, I want to make sure that there was no like labeling on the chair. I'm not giving away anybody. I'm not giving anybody free sponsorships. You gotta pay me.
Well, but also it's like you don't want to look like not everything has to have a label on it. So it's not Gucci or anything. So what you're gonna have some random label on it?
Of course not. Is that Logitech label in the camera? Can we make sure that the Sony is showing on this type of remote? No, I get what you're right. Yeah, Pepsi. Cameron says, love you guys and gals. Thanks, Cameron, for watching. We appreciate it. Everyone have a great holiday. Eat, drink, be merry, stay away from your families. Stay away. Or go see them. Whatever you prefer. Everyone.
Want to give a special thank you out to Uncle Willie?
Yeah.
and Lindsay. Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Will.
Wish my brother Kurt well. He's down with the C-19.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He got Regeneron and was feeling a lot better at his oxygen levels. He's fighting every day to stay out of the hospital.
Same for
I wish he does well.
Yeah. Want to wish also another host of the show of GeekGasm, Stephanie Menard, her mother COVID has COVID, so wishing her well, her mother and her mother's roommate well, speedy recovery to them as well. Definitely. Everyone, stay safe out there. And that's it for tonight's show. We'll see you all back here very soon. Me, Randy, and Daphne, and just a couple
just a couple hours, folks.
Yeah. Not Meredith.
Turning up like a bad penny.
Meredith will be asleep.
Maybe Meredith if she gets up early enough.
Hey, I've been running in the
throw
morning.
up more of my bad math.
Yeah.
You've been running in the morning?
I have. I've been running in the morning.
I gotta start doing that too.
Me too, but it's because I drink watermelon Arizona. You don't mean that type of running. Never mind. All right.
No. We're not talking about catastrophic anal failure, okay?
Yes. No, you don't want. You don't know.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Stay healthy.
Ciao.